Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Albert. Welcome to Unit 5, Week 7. Online learning. This week, I will be going over some reading information and delivering your reading instruction. So, once again, as we have all been telling you since the start of online learning, please be sure to watch the whole video. This is meant to be instructional. It is meant to support you. It is meant to give you information that might be new or may need some reviewing. So this week, we are going to be learning about drawing inferences from a text. So that's going to be making an inference using predictions. And we're also going to be going over comparing and contrasting two or more characters, settings, or events in a story or a drama. The first thing that I want to review, and notice I said the word review. The first thing I'd like to review with you is making predictions. We do this all the time in our lives, in our everyday world, but especially in our reading. So, our comprehension strategy this week is going to be making predictions. There are many ways that you can think about and revisit stories, pictures, poetry, dramas. And the first thing that we do is before you read, look at the title, look at the illustrations, connect it with what you already know in your world, experiences that have happened to you, stories that you've read, and can be able to connect to what you're getting ready to read. As you are reading, often stop yourself and think, I think such and such is going to happen because. So the author will use sentences and words to help you make a prediction about what is going to happen in the text. Maybe they're not always right, and maybe they need to be revisited, but using the information in a story, a poem, a song, a picture, you can make predictions. And then finally, when you're finished reading, you can confirm your predictions by using evidence from what you've read, or you can fix your predictions. Maybe you weren't exactly right, and that's okay. Making predictions doesn't necessarily always equal to something that is correct. Let's take a look at this picture. If you were in my class right now and I threw this picture up on our smartboard and I said, tell me what's going to happen, the first thing that your brain would start to do is say, I see that they're in a road. I see that the sky is very dark. And you would start to connect all of those pieces of those puzzles together to make a prediction. So look at the clouds in the picture. Think about what you already know or prior knowledge of clouds. How can what you already know help you make a smart prediction about what will happen next? Well, I know that clouds mean rain. I know that dark clouds can mean a bad storm is coming. So I think that this picture means there is a major thunderstorm coming. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're not, but we can always revisit our predictions. Our comprehension skill this week is something, once again, that we have visited many times throughout the school year, and that is comparing and contrasting. Let's take a moment to look at this anchor chart. Comparing words are both similar, same, also, to, meaning also, and as well. Contrasting words are however, differ, different, while, on the other hand, but yet, though. What can we compare and contrast in a story? We can look at characters, how they are the same and how they are different. We can look at settings. How are the settings in two stories the same? How are they different? As well as events that happen in a story. Now, in our anchor chart on the left-hand side, you see two circles that are formed together. That's a graphic organizer. And the graphic organizer that we use to compare and contrast is called a Venn diagram. On either sides of the Venn diagram, or in the middle, we use to compare, and that tells us what is the same. So those are those anchor chart words. What's both, similar, some, also. And then on the outside of the circles, we look at what is different. So we're contrasting. Let's take a quick look at these two characters that we've seen and know before. This is Dory and Nemo. So, when I think about Dory and Nemo as characters, I'm going to think what is it that is the same about them and what is different. By looking at the pictures, I can visually tell that they're different. And I also can visually tell that something is the same about them. Let's take a look at our Venn diagram. Dory is a girl. She is blue. She is forgetful. She speaks whale. She is fearless. Now, what is different about Nemo is he's a boy. He is orange. He is a dad. He is fearful and he worries a lot. But let's take a moment to look at this centerpiece here. How are they alike? Both are brave. They are also fish. They are also caring. Both are looking for Nemo. Both would do anything for friends. So, again, the Venn diagram is a graphic organizer that helps us organize our thoughts about things that are the same and different in a story. We are going to read Miguel in the Middle today. The genre, and remember that's the type of story we're reading, is a realistic fiction. We've read a lot of these this year, and a quick review. What is realistic fiction? It's exactly what it says. It's a story that's not true, but it could happen in real life. So the author just made up a story about events that could happen in a real life. The places or the setting could be in real life. There are events and conflicts that can happen in real life. And one of the things about realistic fiction is they often contain figurative language. So before I read and to get myself ready for reading, I'm going to think about three things. We are making predictions. That's our comprehension strategy. Our skill is going to compare and contrast. And our genre is realistic fiction. As I prepare myself to read, I'm going to take a look at the picture, excuse me, Miguel in the middle. And I'm going to make a prediction. I think he's at school based on the type of building that's there. Um, Not sure if he looks sad or confused or just thinking about something. It looks like these boys are going to play some basketball. These girls might be studying. So these are some predictions just based on this picture that I have. I also am going to read this essential question. It says, what experiences can change the way you see yourself and the world around you? Let's get ready to enjoy our story.
Genre: Realistic fiction. Miguel in the Middle. For as long as I can remember, I've always been in the middle. I'm the middle child in my family. I've always sat in the middle of the classroom in school. Even my first and last names, Miguel Martinez, start with an M, the middle letter of the alphabet. Luckily, I'm also in the middle of a large circle of friends. Most of them are classmates in school. Well, at least they were until now. You see, I started middle school in September, and the transition from elementary school caused some painful changes for me. All of my closest friends go to a different middle school in the area because of the way our school district is mapped out. The only classmate I know from my old school is Jake, who's a genius in math, but since it's not my favorite subject, we never became friends. Another big change is that I'm no longer situated in the middle of the classroom. My seat is now in the front row. Also, my new teachers shovel tons more homework at us, especially in math, than we used to get. So you can imagine why my heart wasn't exactly dancing when middle school began.